Welcome back to your first sourdough loaf. It's been in the fridge. I took it out maybe an hour and a half ago, so it's risen a little bit more. It's come back to room temp. I'll show on the screen what it looks like. That's our dough. It's looking good. It's looking healthy. What we're gonna do is we're gonna form it into 2 loaves, pre-shape it, and then we'll come back in 20 minutes and do a final shape. All we're gonna do for the pre-shape is dump out the loaf onto the counter. We're going to grab some flour. And we're just going to split it in half because this is the recipe for 2 loaves. So some flour on the table helps so it doesn't stick. You may use your hand to pull it out if it's sticking a lot. And there we are. The nice thing about these plastic containers is not very much sticks on the inside, so it works out well. I have a dough scraper, which works for splitting it in half. If you have a knife, however you want to do it, split it just straight down. You can measure it if you want, but splitting straight down is fine. And all we're going to do is we're going to do the same things that we were doing for the folds. For these loaves, all we want is to pre-shape it into a round, and that's kind of how we're going to bake it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I do a 5th one, pull it over, and you have your pre-shaped round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's your second one. That's all we're going to do for these. We're going to come back to it in 20 minutes. Effectively what's happening is you'll feel that it's a lot more tight now, whereas before it was kind of loose. You're building up the gluten for that final form. You're building up the tension on the outside before you bake it. We'll be back in 20 minutes to do this. What we're going to do is we're going to shape it and leave it for 3 to 4 hours until it rises. You're going to push your finger into it. I'll explain more in the next video. And we're going to bake it in Dutch ovens. If you don't have a Dutch oven, that's fine. You can use a sheet pan. If you have a pizza stone, that's even better. Effectively, we'll want something that maintains a lot of heat, because as soon as we open that door, we're going to lose a lot of the heat. Again, I'll explain a little bit more in the next video, but for right now, form it into these pre-shaped loaves, and I'll be back in 20 minutes and kind of show you the final process. We're going to take the loaves, form it into final loaf, and then put it into a dishcloth if you have one that's coated in flour. Whole wheat flour works really well. Rice flour helps a lot too, so it doesn't stick, and that's what we're going to use to bake our final loaves with. See you in 20.